Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. And as you know, we talk all things engineering, technology, and finance. In this week's video, you're gonna get a combination of both technology and finance. And I'm gonna give you guys 3 tips on how to save money with cable. Before we jump into the top 3 tips on saving money with cable, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the content, give me the thumbs up there. And if you found that this content helped you out, go ahead and share it with friends and family. Remember, we don't want to hoard the knowledge for ourselves. With that out of the way, let's jump into the top 3 tips for saving money on cable. So tip number 1 on saving money with cable is understanding what package you really need. And that applies both to either internet, TV, or if you still use a landline phone, even phone. Let's jump in an example where you and I can see how you understand your package and how you pick the best package that's necessary for your needs.
Here we have a great example of how to properly look at your packages, analyze the packages, understand what you need, and make the best decision based on your analysis. So here in front of us we have Spectrum TV packages, and in our area we have what's called TV Select, which includes 125 channels, and if we want anything more than that, they have what's also called TV Silver and TV Gold. So taking a look at the regular TV Select package, it's $44.99 per month. So when you factor in some taxes and fees, it looks like it's going to come out to $62.98 per month. Now, how do you select the package that you need? Is it the TV Select, the Silver, or the Gold? One of the things we can do as an example is we can take a look at, for example, the Disney Channel. Given that in my household we have 2 small children who watch the Disney Junior Channel, we're going to go ahead and search for that and see in what package is the Disney Junior Channel. As we see here, we currently have the Spectrum Select package, and the only thing that's available for Disney in this package is the Disney Channel. But we're specifically looking for the Disney Junior Channel. So let's go and take a look in the Silver package and see if it's available there. And we search for Disney, and we can see here that the Disney Junior Channel, which is on channel 76 in our area, is available in the Spectrum Silver package. So that means we're going to have the Select package and also add plan option of the Silver, which is $30 more, bringing our total cost for TV to $92.98 with taxes and fees. Now, if we take a look and say, hey, we're only interested in the Disney Junior Channel, and we say to ourselves, it's going to cost us an additional $30 per month to have this, so $360 per year in order to be able to watch the Disney Junior Channel. One alternative that you can do is you can actually sign up for Disney Plus streaming service, and in the Disney Plus streaming service you pay $7.99 per month or $80 per year. $80 per year gives you access to all the Disney content, which includes the Disney Junior Channel. And as you can see here, we have Mickey in the back, which is one of the things that the children in our household watch and is available on the Disney Junior Channel. So you can quickly see how it's better to pay $80 for the streaming service and have the content that we're looking for than it is to pay an additional $30 per month and cost us a total of $360 extra per year just for that channel. And it doesn't make sense to do that. This is how you're able to take the packages that you currently have available to you, analyze it, and see if it makes sense to go ahead and use that package or find another alternative.
Tip number 2 on saving money with cable is buying your own equipment. So welcome to a familiar area of my home where I keep all the networking gear that makes this house run. As we talked about in tip number 2, owning your own hardware is the best thing to save money on cable. Now let's take a look at some of the hardware that we have here in order to help you understand how it all works together and how you can use it in order to save on cable. First thing we need to do is receive a signal from the cable companies, and typically that's used by a modem. Here in the bottom I have an Eris modem. This Eris modem that you see is what takes the signal that comes from the cable companies through coax and it translates it into Ethernet. Once we have the signal translated from coax to Ethernet, it's then fed into another piece of equipment that's used to disperse that Ethernet throughout your home via wireless, and that is called a router. Here I have an Asus router. This is what you plug in your modem into. This is where all your wireless devices connect to. Purchasing these two devices and owning the devices is a great way to save money on your cable bill.
when renting equipment from cable companies, things can get pretty costly over time. So as we see here an example from Xfinity, which is a service provided by Comcast, Xfinity charges $14 per month in order to have an internet modem and Wi-Fi router all in one combo. So if we do a little bit of math here, that is going to cost us $168 per year. Now let's say if we extrapolate that over 5 years, it'll cost us $840 over 5 years to rent this device at $168 per year.
And finally, tip number 3 on how to save money with cable. And this might be a shocker to you guys. This is something that most people are not willing to do, but you need to be willing to leave. So what do we mean by be ready to leave? Let's take a look at an example to see how you're ready to leave. And we're also going to tie it into tip number 2 to show you how you can easily combine tip number 2 and tip number 3 to make that transition of leaving even smoother. So let's go ahead and jump into tip number 3. Now tip number 3, as we talked about, it links on to tip number 2, is now that you own your own hardware and you're looking to save money on your cable bill, you can use tip number 3, which is get ready to leave the company, and use that in order to help you transition to the new company. So what do I mean by that? Let's take a look at a quick example of how we can use our current hardware in order to transition into the new company and use it with our new hardware. So as you can see here, I have my mobile device. We'll do a quick speed test to make sure that we are on our current internet provider, which happens to be Spectrum in my area. So let's take a look at what speeds we're getting with our current provider. My internet package is 200 megabits down, 10 megabits up. It looks like we got a little bit over what we were subscribed for. So 217 megabits down and 12 up. Let's see how we can take our current technology, meaning the hardware that we own, and how do we transition to a new company for better rates? As one thing that I've seen throughout the years, you're better off changing to a different provider than it is to stay with your existing provider as they phase out your discount credits. T-Mobile 5G internet gateway for their home internet. And this is what we're gonna use in order to leave our current provider to make sure that we get good rates. So let's go ahead and set this up. So behind me, I have an outlet over here. And now that it's plugged in, we'll give it a moment to boot up and give us our signal to the cell tower. And then behind the 5G internet gateway, we have 2 LAN ports. And this is what we're gonna use in order to be able to connect it to our router. So we'll give this a second to boot up, and looks like we are connected to the tower now. So now that we know this is up and running and we have a connection to the tower, let's go ahead on disconnecting our internet connection from our cable provider and switching it over to our 5G gateway from T-Mobile. First things first, we're gonna connect our Ethernet cable from our 5G internet gateway to our WAN port of our router. So now with power disconnected from our modem, which gets the signal from Spectrum and converts it to Ethernet, we've completely eliminated Spectrum from the picture. And we're gonna go ahead and test our connection now with our 5G gateway from T-Mobile and see what kind of internet that we're getting in the home. And the really cool thing is, because we own our equipment and our router, there was no additional setup, meaning once you plug this into the 5G gateway, you'll be able to keep the same Wi-Fi name, same Wi-Fi password, and you're up and running without any additional configurations. So let's go ahead on our mobile phone and see what we're getting. So as you're able to see from our screenshot that we got 241 megabits per second down, 8.55 megabits per second up, and it's on par with our cable subscription from Spectrum. So this is a good way to be able to test out the connection, make sure everything works. And as you can see here, you can leave and actually use your same equipment in order to go to the new company in order to get better rates. So once you know now that everything's up and running with what you had before and it's plugged into the router and you're getting the same exact coverage as you were getting before, now you can call Spectrum or your cable provider and tell them that you're leaving. And this ties into our third tip, which is be ready to leave. So there you have it, folks. You have my top 3 tips on saving money with cable and how you can use those tips in order to save you guys a lot of money. Remember, if you found this content to be helpful and you enjoyed it, make sure you give me that thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and lastly, remember, we don't hoard the knowledge, we share it with others. So make sure you hit that share button and share this content with family and friends, and I'll see you on the next video.